I'm Chelsea Toronto.
And I'm Dr. Lindsay Regier.
And welcome back to Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
The end.
The end.
All right, let's get to it. We have so many things to talk about today.
Yes. I need to make a public service announcement first.
I'm listening.
Okay. I know people might be questioning my mental health and my well-being because I did something psychotic.
Oh, what was that?
I took out a row of hair extensions.
Oh, you know what? I'm so mad at you about that. And here's why. I feel like you're about to start drinking alcohol again, too. And you didn't consult me, or at least you didn't give me a heads up that this was happening, and you just told me, and
Well, I think we did talk about it briefly because I was saying that I wanted to put a new row in, but the color doesn't match my current hair color. So what am I to do? Put the rat tail back in or just leave it?
Oh, I don't need it. Okay, well, good.
And I didn't want it touching my neck, but it's okay. And I was having a mini meltdown, but I'm okay. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be a real pick-me-up.
Mhm.
I think we're going to have fun. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Let's just do a rapid fire. Oh, you are warm.
Yeah. I'm fired up.
On a cellular level. Okay. All right, our first note.
Mhm.
All right, what is it?
The animal of the week.
Isn't there one above it?
Oh.
Okay, we can do the animal of the week. Let's hit to it.
Let's just hit that right away.
Let's do it.
Okay, well, there were multiple nominees for the animal of the week this week. First of all, I'm just going to give an update that the bear who lost last year because the fat bear contest ate her babies, the winner this year is the bear whose babies got eaten.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a participation award?
Yeah, we vote.
Like a consolation prize? Sorry your babies were consumed.
Yeah, so she had a revenge bod and she got to be the chunkiest bear of them all, and she is now the fat bear of the week.
She's eating her feelings.
Yeah, she's eating her feelings.
Alrighty.
Mm-hmm. But for my actual animal of the week, it is a sea turtle called Marigold Puddlefoot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Marigold Puddlefoot, she started off in Florida area and she's like, shit, I gotta get out of here. There's hurricanes.
What is she?
She's a sea turtle.
Uh-huh.
So she swam her little way all the way up.
I saw that. Okay.
To Maine area. Now she's more of a nor'easter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's all over the place. Okay.
I know.
Here's my issue with this.
Yeah.
So it's a sea turtle like contest or what? They're like tracking them.
Uh-huh.
You know, I'm having a hard time. Do you see the way that they attach those trackers?
Yeah.
It seems a little inhumane just for the sake of tracking turtles. It's either like a polyurethane that attaches to the outer shell, or there's like an epoxy glue, like super. And I'm like, oh, is that a little out of reach to be tracking these?
No, I feel like that's okay.
I don't. Why are we? I mean, I get appreciating and wanting to know exactly where they are and being a part of their journey, but I don't feel like we should be using like Gorilla Glue on their shell.
Well, we shouldn't be giving them like a fin piercing either. So.
Oh yeah, no, I'm against all of it.
So I feel like super gluing is the safest way to go. And also,
it's not that it's the safest, we shouldn't be doing it because now these robot turtles have antennas on them. And I'm like,
well, we got to track them.
Why?
So then we can study migration patterns of turtles.
They're fine. We just
it's essential to the ecosystem.
Okay. I don't.
And you can adopt one and you can track it wherever it goes.
Yeah.
It's a great gift. For $56, you can have a plushie and your own turtle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like buying a star.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually want to hop on. Did you read about that lady who for the last 35 years was feeding local raccoons in her backyard?
No.
And never a good deed. What is it?
No good deed goes unpunished.
Because there was a raccoon infestation in the last couple of weeks, and there was 100 raccoons in her yard because they were demanding food. So she had to escape in a car and drive out of town.
Oh my God.
I had to call animal control to, I don't know, they didn't say whether they were euthanized or just relocated, but there's an infestation in our house. So
she welcomed them in. And
it backfired. Let me see. I think I have a picture of it. It is repulsive. Okay. All right.
Like there's a lot of babies there. Oh my God.
Ooh, I don't know if you could see this, but there's an entire front yard
Ah,
full of them. I mean, they look friendly, but they're not.
they
If
look
they're
so
like,
friendly.
we are hungry, and they've got like their fork and knife in their hand, like pounding on the table. Feed us,
Feed us,
All right.
feed us.
Okay. What's the next thing we're going to talk about?
Oh, there's so many things I want to talk about. The Met Gala.
Oh, okay. All right. So this year's Met Gala, May 1st, or the first Monday in May, it marks the Met Gala. What's it called? It's a Met Gala fundraiser, and this year's theme is particularly special because why, Lindsay?
The theme is super fine tailoring black style. And on the board of the Met Gala, we've got Pharrell.
Yes.
We've got ASAP Rocky, I think.
Yes.
Was on there.
Uh-huh.
We've got 2 or 3 other guys that I don't know.
Right. This is the first time that they're focusing solely on menswear, and it focuses on the history of the dandy, which is a black man that in 1800s, as it transitioned from slavery into now emancipation, and so their streetwear, which was like tailored suits and stuff like that. My Anna Wintour is a fucking savage. And here's why.
Why?
Because she believes it was a runaway shit show. Years past, because these celebrities were never until recently invited to the Met Gala.
Oh.
It was supposed to be high fashion and artistry, and then the Kardashians just made it about themselves, and it was performative, and that Marilyn Monroe thing. It was just like, that's not what it stands for. So to get back to this, I feel like she regained it, and she's like, all right, what are you going to do about this? How are you going to are you going to do a 3-piece suit? So I am excited to see where that goes. It's going to be so dope.
I feel like this has the potential to go off the rails real quick.
I'm hoping that it doesn't.
Because you know what? I can see people
what are the ladies going to wear?
I can see people putting like dreads in their hair and like doing like cultural appropriation stuff.
Oh yeah.
So like I guess like where is the line going to be drawn where it's cultural appropriation and where we're following a theme?
Oh, I definitely think of the cultural appropriation.
Yeah. So it's just
they're
like
gonna do blackface.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Like I'm just really tan today.
I could say so many other things that are wrong.
Yeah.
And I will not. Their former lives in the South.
Right. Or in any other instance, if you wore these outfits outside of this one specific event of the Met Gala, people would be like, that you can't do that.
I really hope they focus on the men's fashion and that women kind of take a backseat, because it's always about women and women's high fashion.
I feel like I don't have a lot of hope either, because we're going to see a lot of suits, ladies in suits.
I hope so. I wish they would invite me, because I would crush it.
I don't know. I feel like there's only so many ways you can do a suit.
Okay. All right. So, well, where do we go from here, Linz?
Well, also, speaking of things that just happened this week, usually we don't talk about politics because I don't care.
That's what we don't do that here.
We don't do that here.
We're still two dumb girls.
Still two dumb girls. But I do want to say Kamala was on Call Her Daddy.
Yes.
Which I think was...
What's her name?
Epic. Alex Cooper.
Right. So she Call Her Daddy, if you don't know,
is like the most like downloaded podcast right behind Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard of it, that would be insane.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that haven't heard about it. But because Kamala Harris was on it, now she also brought national awareness to this podcast. So maybe you weren't familiar with it, but now you might be more inclined to listen to it. Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was a very interesting take on an interview and a great format. And now candidates are coming into the modern age of podcasting, and how it wasn't really like a hard-hitting interview, but just talking more about like women's issues, because that is like what Call Her Daddy. It's like mental health, women's issues, sexuality.
And like, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that it was better than what I thought
it really was.
To be.
Yep. It was a more conversational, and they were both in agreement. So there was no defensive, and it was like, hey, can you further explain these points? Specifically, the part that I could relate to was all the Roe versus Wade, Roe v. Wade conversation, and like abortion, and whether or not you agree with it, government still shouldn't be regulating a person's body.
Right. Like, should just be up to you.
And I really agree with what she said, because I've been saying it all the time. if you talk to some people, they're like, oh, just go to another state.
Oh, but she's making such a good point
I
on the
know.
podcast. Was like, okay, to be able to go to another state,
If you, because
that means that you probably need childcare.
because the majority of the southern states have a ban on abortion, right? Whether like under all circumstances. So, with the exception of Virginia,
Yeah.
all the southern states. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
So, and like a lot of women that do get an abortion, they might already have a child or two, and they
Yes.
just can't afford to have another one.
You would think that they'd be on board with the fact that when the women are no longer take advantage, like be the recipient of,
Like free care.
you
or
know, like the government when they, I don't know, what's it called? Not welfare, but like child
Oh.
services or like
Yeah,
resources
like the
that the government.
resources.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to be able to afford to have a babysitter if you already have kids. You have to be able to afford the gas or the plane ticket to get to the other state. You have to probably get a hotel. You know, you're probably staying overnight. You also have to take off of work. So hopefully you have a job where you can take off of work and you have some PTO saved up. So like this is costing a person so much money just because they can't do it in their own state. And like that's just pissed me off.
Oh, I am outraged. And I've been outraged. I mean, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This was my argument that you can't afford it. So now what? What's the alternative? You're going to tap into the government assistance. And wouldn't it be cheaper to have the abortion and not have the child? Because you're going to pay for it. And if Trump's elected, they have further, they continue, they somehow, what's his head? What's his head? What's the VP? He like slipped up. He like,
JD.
He accidentally made an omission. No, what words?
Words are hard.
Well, that he's like, hey, yeah, we're going to continue to defund Planned Parenthood. And it's not just about abortion services. You might get a pap smear there. You might get contraception there. And he's just like, what do you think?
In college, that was the go-to. Because I didn't have a doctor.
No.
Yeah, I still don't have a doctor. So
doctors, what are those? Oh, I'm outraged.
So yeah, I thought that was like, that was also a very smart PR move on Kamala's part, because Alex Cooper, Call Her Daddy, is like 20-year-olds to like 40-year-olds ish, I would say, in that age range.
Yeah.
So it's a great demographic to hit. And I think that she was well prepped for the interview. Then I saw a clip of Kamala on the Colbert show.
Right.
He asked her a question like, how is your policy going to be different? She doesn't answer questions. She's like, well, I'm not Biden and I'm not Trump. And we're a hardworking country. And we just work really hard. And I was like, you're saying nonsense. You're back to saying nonsense.
Oh, it's a drag. Well, don't ask her pointed questions.
I know.
I do like it. Not that she had any problem, but she continued to like solidify my vote. Like, yeah.
And I just thought it's a great day for podcasting and just like making it more of a mainstream medium.
Yeah. Alrighty. What's the cup of coffee per month pricing?
Oh, that's back to the turtles, that if you don't want to buy a plushie, you can support the turtle for the cost of 1 cup of coffee a month.
For a penny a day.
For a penny a day. And the Sarah McLachlan Song of an Angel is playing in the background. You can support sea turtles too. They won't know that you even exist, but you can help them.
Go on.
I also want to talk about Chelsea's in like a new era of skincare and hair products and all the things. Like you just discovered
skincare. Yeah, I did.
And I also discovered a new treatment.
What is it?
That I think I should get. It's called a Lippy Flow.
Yeah, I saw that. What is it?
Okay, so it's for your eyeballs. You know how I have like sensitive eyes.
Yeah.
So you put this like contraption underneath your eyeball,
like a pulley system.
It's like a flat like disc sort of thing.
Stop.
And you put it under your eyeballs, and then it like washes your eyeballs and like massages your eyeballs and your eyelids for 30 minutes. And then it's supposed to like rejuvenate your eyes.
Yeah, why don't you try that?
I think I will.
And then actually, you know what? Before you try it, you should schedule an appointment with your optometrist. Let me know what day it is, because I'll have to drive you, because this is going to backfire like anything you do with your eyeballs. I mean, the epoxy glue that you put on your eyeballs every 2.5 weeks is dangerous enough.
I know, but I feel like this would really like refresh my eyes.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. But just let me know what day of the week I need to take off to take you to your emergency.
But doesn't that sound kind of amazing, like an eyeball massage? I love rubbing my eyes.
I ice rolled my face today
Oh,
and I put it on my eyeballs. It does feel lovely.
right.
Yeah.
I know. So what are you into now? You just discovered ice rolling.
No, I take
No?
that back.
Okay.
I used to plunge my face in a bowl full of water and ice,
Mm-hmm.
and I really enjoy that. No, words. It's my first time speaking for the day. So I like an ice mask. I do use an ice mask, but this was the first time standing and like rolling. I didn't. What am I supposed to see as a result of ice rolling?
You know, this is luxurious. You put on the face mask, like the sheet mask,
And then ice roll.
and then ice roll.
I did put on a sheet mask after I ice rolled, and then maybe over again.
Oh yeah, you should do it while you ice roll.
Okay, well I didn't know. I'm new to
And
it.
as a result of the ice rolling, it depuffs your face.
I think my face is just naturally puffy. It's very
Well,
supple.
do it harder.
Oh, and okay, so I'm obviously cleansing to the best that I can, toning. I didn't realize. Thank you, Kim Kardashian, for telling me that the one thing she wishes she focused on earlier in her skincare journey was toning, that it evens out the redness and like the tone of your skin.
Was she also selling her skincare product?
She may have been, but I like scrolled through it because I was like blah blah blah. And then what am I? Oh, there's a snail serum.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's
luxurious. And then there's eye patches, and then there's another moisturizer.
Indeed.
Sunscreen?
I don't like to lie here, and honestly. It's the name of the show.
Because I know you're lying, because you like to bask in the sun, and you're like, I look so much better tan.
I do.
Let me
I am. I'm much more attractive to people.
And you got the red light, blue light, green light, face vibration, handheld face sculptor thing. Watcha.
I know it's targeting me, but I'm like, yo, Instagram feed, I already bought it. You don't need to target it to me anymore. Like every third post is about that product.
They're like, well, are you using it?
Obviously not enough. Actually, I am, but you need to use it 5 to 15 minutes a day. That is a long time to be standing there. So when I'm in bed, I just kind of, and then I fall asleep with it in my hand.
Yeah, that's why I don't use my new face that much, because it's 5 minutes. And I'm like, God, 5 minutes seems like such a long time.
And then there's this face mask, that Korean viral face mask that you put on. You need to keep it on for 3 to 4 hours. And once it's translucent, then you peel it off.
Then you have the most supple skin around.
I already do. Does my face look Korean? What's it called? Korean
glass skin?
Yeah. Do I have that today?
No.
Okay. Good. Thanks for shooting down my dreams.
But I'm proud of you for having a skincare routine.
Kind of. I may have one, but do I use it? How often am I doing it?
She's just doing it to irk me, not throwing out her disposable towels. She puts washing them in the washing machine and drying them.
If anything, I'm environmentally conscientious. Okay, what's next?
Well, let's talk about your weekend.
Let's talk about jelly belly fat drink.
Oh yeah,
there's a Japanese jelly
belly drink.
Right.
So you drink this gel concoction, or maybe it turns into a gel, but in your stomach.
Once it's in your stomach, it comes out like a soda.
Yeah, it comes out like a soda. Once it's in your tummy, then it expands.
Yeah.
So then you have like jelly belly. So then you're full and you can't eat anymore.
Here's my question to you. Which flavor would you have? Would you have the lemon or the grapefruit?
I think grapefruit.
Yeah.
That just sounds a little bit more appealing.
It does. And where can I get it?
I know exactly. Like, I didn't see it on Amazon Prime yesterday.
No, I didn't. No. It wasn't a Prime Day deal.
No.
Okay. All right. Hit me with it.
Well, tell me about your weekend. It was an anniversary of sorts.
Okay. Besties, if you remember our very first episode 3 years ago, like September, so that's September 2021, we kicked off the first episode where I went to a sex club, where I said it was a very inclusive space. I went again, and I am not as asexual as I was 3 years ago.
And I have a hard time wrapping my mind around that.
I know. So I was able, while I don't ever participate, up to this point, I have not participated in any of the actions, like things that go down there. I was comfortable enough at times to just like witness what was going on. This is not for the faint of heart.
If you're a Disney princess, it's not for you.
Yeah, I'm reluctant to even tell you when I'm going, but like,
I know you're like, yeah. So I went to the sex last night. I'm like, you did what? So reluctant to tell me. I'm like, just say it.
Yeah, no, I mean, like it is a legitimate sex club. But it's the nicest, cleanest place, and it looks like a log cabin in the mountains. Like you go in, and that bar is still there. You have to bring your own alcohol because the cabaret license. If you're all nude, you have to bring your own BYOB.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's still a dance floor, great music, and then outside there's like a teepee, and we saw like they were celebrating their 26th wedding anniversary, and they were full on reverse cowgirl, like seated right next to me. And
like
then
3 feet away from you. Or this close.
This close.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Seating was tight. Seating was tight.
That's real tight.
I mean, there's only so many spots in that teepee.
Okay.
You really have to be like, what I can tell you though is if you watch enough sex, you're like, okay.
You kind of just like are not fazed by it.
No. And then if you're not participating, it's like, okay. Yeah. You might as well get there at like midnight, stay for an hour and a half and be like, you know, I wouldn't say it's free porn, but you know, I was just going to sit home and watch porn anyway. So this is like live entertainment.
A live show.
Yeah. It was fun times.
Yeah.
So 3 years later, I am no longer asexual.
Yeah. 3 years ago. Oh my God. And I saw this and I saw this and I saw this. Now you're just like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I've really grown as a person.
Yes, you have.
All right. What else we got?
Well, what else are you obsessed with?
I was obsessed with the Milton, the hurricane. I gotta tell you, I'm so grateful that everyone was safe and then that category 5 hurricane wasn't as destructive as they anticipated. However, I'm so fucking annoyed when they make such a big deal and then there's no devastation, there's no destruction. You're like, stop. Like, it's like the media is just and like, what the fuck are you doing? You insist on evacuating like all the regions that are like right in the eye of the storm. But what do? They put fucking Anderson Cooper right in the middle of it. And he's hanging on for dear life. So it's dangerous for everyone else. But these, like CNN was like, it's okay. Not us. Like somehow he is immune.
Him and the cameraman. They got to get the shot.
Why are you doing this? We take it. We got it. Like, I'm sure there's like a camera somewhere. There's cameras
everywhere. They could have pulled footage from a camera anywhere to get.
You could use old footage and we wouldn't know the difference. Stop putting your people in danger. It's reckless.
But then there'll be an uproar if we don't get live footage.
No, I don't think so. Let's try it because everyone in the comments was like, save Anderson Cooper. Stop with like, it's just, I don't know.
But if it was a newscaster that no one likes.
No, I still think, why are you doing it? You do not need to report from boots on the ground. Like, knock it off.
They're like, it's really windy out here.
The poor guy's
It's still raining. It's raining sideways. Look at how windy the trees are.
And then something like blew in his face and it caught him off guard and he was like, oh, it is not worth it.
Yeah, we get the gist. It's the same every time.
Every single time.
Look how much water there is on the ground.
Oh my gosh, it's so windy. And then like power lines
going
or like breaking, like falling right behind him. All right, so there's that. But my second obsession is this Diddy demise. So just as recent as today, he is making an appeal, his third appeal to a higher court, requesting that he be released on bail.
On bail. Oh, okay.
So it's like, because he's not really used to being in jail,
right? most people aren't,
right? And so especially him, because he's above the law,
right?
One thing I didn't know is that he had machine guns in his home and he had like scratched off the serial numbers. So I might, and
that's a little sketchy.
And they're like, why is his legal team? Because Diddy's like, get me the fuck out of here. But no senior judge or like senior court, I was going to say these lower court, they honor their decisions. They're not going to honor, especially now that you know. And he's like, oh, I have 7 family members that will put up bail. You can take my house. I'm trying to sell it. I'm trying to sell my plane. You can take my No, sit your ass in jail.
Wow. They're really trying to set an example.
Yes, they should. Yeah. People, I think we love I was gonna say a word that's not appropriate under the circumstances because he's black, but like if you had pitchforks and like a mob coming for you.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is an obsession. And I just from like a 30,000 feet never really like dig into these whatever the national story is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, but this one I can't get enough of. And why is Beyonce considered like one of the most senior in the Illuminati? Why is every music artist thanking her at their acceptance speech? Like, why is Adele thanking Beyonce? First of all, I love her work. I don't think she's that great.
I don't think she's that great.
Why?
I heard that everyone is thanking Beyonce because if you don't thank Beyonce, then you're going down.
And Kanye West hopped on stage to protect Taylor Swift.
Yeah. And then someone told me today, they're like, I think Taylor Swift is behind the whole thing.
Okay, well, no, that's just.
I'm like, well, that's just ridiculous.
I do love a conspiracy theory, but
like,
I'm
she's
not
even like old enough to be behind the whole thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
and then also 50 Cent has been making a documentary about
I
Diddy
know,
for like 13 years.
I'm so,
Mhm.
but they also say that he's up to no good just as much as the other one.
Yeah.
Let's
sure.
see.
Mhm.
They said that Obama was pictured with Diddy, or yeah,
Oh, everyone was.
that was the thing. I would have gone to those parties.
I would have gone to a white party.
Heck yeah.
It was like the hot party to be at.
I just would have left
Exactly.
by 11:30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're supposed to leave by 11, but I would have pushed it and be like, oh, I don't want to go. You should go.
You should go. Things are about to go down.
Right. I was at a party like that here in town many years ago. It's infamous. I mean, it was the country club, and it was like wife swapping right before my own eyes. And I was like 30, so I had no idea what I was witnessing. And there was lots of water available right in the front, so drugs were available. And when I later told my parents, I'm like, Chelsea, we're so disappointed in you for being there, because word had gotten out that it was a hedonistic party one night after one of their golf tournaments.
You're like, well, I didn't do anything.
No, it's bragging rights. Because I can say I was there, and they're like, ooh, yeah, spooky. Okay. All right, where else? Because we had so many things I just didn't want to miss.
I know.
So, here's a new thing. You know, my neighbor, I told my neighbor I was leaving Pound Town.
Oh, and how did he respond? Oh, really?
Lashed out like a little bitch.
Damn. Really?
Well, I wasn't responding, kind of blew him off, and that kind of drove him crazy. So I was getting like a text a day, like, why are you ignoring me? Like, so you're just never going to speak to me again? I said, oh, my heart is a little hurt, and I just can't do this anymore. I'm trying to clean up my act and
like reset the roster.
Yeah. Just honor myself a little bit better. And of course, they came into work yesterday.
Of course, because they know where to find you.
Like a sitting duck. However, they won't be able to find me there ever again on that day of the week because I requested off. So ha ha ha. But I didn't know that they were there. But I'm assuming I'm assuming they thought I did know and I was just ignoring them.
Oh.
I wasn't. I'm too busy. And so snarky.
Oh.
I was like, don't be a bitch.
God, guys are such hypocrites. They're like, oh, we're just hooking up. Don't get attached to me. Don't get feelings for me. And just like, it is what it is. And then they're like, you, a female, has the audacity to break up with me or like end this casual thing with me. And then they're such a little bitch about it.
I know. You're like, because they're still tapping ass like twice a day, every other day. So I'm like, you don't need me. You're going to be just fine. They're like, you don't need me. I'm like, ugh, I'm not doing this roundabout conversation.
Oh my God.
And then they use like their daughter as the last bait. Like, oh, my daughter wants to know why you're angry with me. I was like,
fuck off.
What do you tell me?
She doesn't care.
Your puppy cares too?
Yeah.
I'm like, shut up. So that brings me up to the nephew.
Okay.
So last week I said I went out on a date with the nephew and it was nice. And then I said, it was nice enough, but I'm not going to do it again. Okay, I'm going to eat those words because I did. And This person might be an example of the way one should be treated.
It's 100% the example of how one should be treated. And you're like, I don't like it.
Okay. However, I did say that, but what I can give myself credit for was that I listened to my camp. Specifically, I do think it's worth asking men that you respect, Austin being one of them, and then another mutual friend, her husband. And the husband said, why don't you give him another chance? Because I said, oh, he was too chatty. And he said, well, that might just be nerves. So I agreed to meet up with the nephew for coffee. And he brought me this huge bouquet
of flowers. Look, I teases out of you.
Okay, that's not the point I want to get to. And just suggesting the nicest activities. Like,
wait, and also the roses were orange because it's the color that matches Chelsea's nails.
Okay. So, I won't make any decisions without running them by you. Do you think maybe it was just last night because it was a new strain that's called energetic that I got from the dispensary. Do you think I'm too busy?
What do you mean too busy?
I'm like too busy.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Oh my.
I didn't do anything. I was just going to ask you, don't you think I'm too busy?
No, this is what I'm going to say is that you're like, I'm never doing anything. Like, I never have any plans. And like, I'm never doing anything. I'm like so bored. I'm never doing anything.
Fine.
Oh, there's nothing to do.
Okay.
Now you think you're too busy?
I am. I have a lot of hobbies. And
going on a date once a week is now one of them. So
no, I'm fine.
Welcome.
I'm fine.
No.
Okay, fine. Fine. That's why I said I was going to ask you.
Good. Make sure you run it by the board before you make a decision.
Of course. I'm running up the ladder. How do you feel? Okay, so I'm not busy.
You're not busy.
And so we're going to go leaf peeping. He asked if I would go on Saturday because it's a high holiday.
That's nice.
Well, if you're busy on Saturday, I guess I could do it Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, you were invited to play pickleball.
So. Oh, I was?
Yeah. That's what I was telling you. Pickleball at
noon.
You
said I'm playing pickleball
no,
at noon.
I didn't say I'm. I said pickleball at noon, Saturday.
I feel like I've...
Let me just gaslight you.
Lindsay, turns out Lindsay gaslights the shit out of me. But because... Okay, oh, you know what? You know why? Why I let you gaslight me?
Why?
Because I feel guilty about being so bossy and so... Like, what do we call me? Like, I'm kind of aggressive. You should do this.
Perhaps.
I try to do perhaps because I'm trying to soften. So I'd let you gaslight me as a quid pro quo of me being bossy. I'm like, well, she should get a pass. However, I'm never gonna fight you on it. I'd be like, okay. I just, whenever you say, you're right, my shorts aren't pink. If you told me they were brown, I'd be like, I don't remember them being brown, but
they are.
So silly. So yeah, no, you can gaslight me all you want. I don't give a shit.
But yeah, you should go peep the leaves. That's a very wholesome activity. You'll get a lot of drive time, which is what you like to do. I'm sure it'll be good conversation. Yeah.
They keep saying, will you just give me a chance? I'm like, fine. Fine.
He's like, I feel like you are not going to give me a chance. I'm just like feeling in my gut that you're going to cancel on me. And I LOL'd real hard at that because I'm like, he's not wrong.
I know. And that's why I was like, I'm going to prove you wrong. Because I'm competitive.
I'm going to go on a date with him out of spite.
He's a nice person.
I'm very happy that you're not too busy to.
I thought I was.
No, you're definitely not.
Okay. You don't have that many things going on in your life. Which, I love the of Nobody Wants This.
Obsessed with that show.
Obsessed. I'm going to watch it now for the third time. So if you haven't watched it, please come out from the rock that you are under. It was 2 weeks ago, the big showcased show on Netflix. If you notice, like once a week, they're like
brand new. Watch this.
Yeah. So now we're just two dumb girls podcasting, and she falls in love with the rabbi.
So basically, art imitating life.
And I love it because you know how I feel about those of the Jewish faith.
I know. Love him.
They treat ladies the way they should be treated because there's not a lot of, he referred to himself as rom-com.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I told Austin, he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
There's only room for one rom-com over here, okay?
And that's
me.
And that prestigious title needs to be earned. So slow the fuck down, new guy. I was like, well, technically you belong to someone else, Austin. So it would be cool if I get my own rom-com. But, whatever. You can gaslight me too. It's the Regier household.
You must be anointed rom-com. You can't just go out and declare yourself rom-com.
Okay, how about this? Leaf peeping, if I get another bouquet of flowers, officially rom-com.
Yeah, totally.
But I won't confirm it to him.
No.
And I'm doing such a good job. Can we talk about that? Like, I know I always have to like pull a compliment out of you, but will you please tell me how good I'm doing?
You're doing so good.
Could you elaborate?
You're doing so good at not being by your phone, sitting and waiting for him to text. You're not texting him too much. You're letting him take the lead. You're just like playing it cool.
I've never played it cool in my entire life.
Yeah.
Ever. If you look at the text streams, he's got paragraph, paragraph, paragraph. I have one line. Then there's a yes. One line. And I'm like, yes. It feels so good that I feel like I'm on like a 30-day challenge where I am determined not to fuck it up. So I never text.
Ooh, we should play it as a 30-day challenge.
We're doing so well. I never text. He did say, hey, if you are ever thinking about me, you could just let me know. I said, look, because this person is celebrating, coincidentally, 14 years of sobriety. They were way more fucked up than I am. Now, I asked him never to listen to this, so I could still just be myself. I said, if there's ever a hard launch, maybe I'll reel it in. But no, because that would be the demise of this.
Because until then, we're going to talk shit.
And how else do you think we're going to get paid? So fuck off. So 14 years of sobriety, I said, look, here's my concern. No, since I can't say I'm busy, my other concern is addicts have a tendency to lean towards love bombing.
Oh, okay.
Where, there's a long, because those dopamine hits hit hard for us. It's like if you're a sugar addict, like when you're hungry and there's a left piece of cake from the 10-person party that was celebrating at Pino's last night, and they're like, we have 2 slices of cake. This one kind of fell on the floor, and I was like, I don't care. I will. Take it. So that sugar went straight to the blood. That's how we feel about love bombing. So I said, hey, I never want to be attached to my phone hoping to see a good morning text. I don't want to hear like all these love overtures. Like, I get it. You like me.
Duh.
I was like, I'm kind of a perfect person.
He's like, you are.
Yes.
Correct answer.
Indeed.
Yep.
And so I was like, that is why I'm not texting you. That's not to say, I was like, please don't read into my silence.
Right.
I just feel like this has the potential for longevity. Not for, I don't know. I don't think like that, but it's a very quality relationship. So I have to do all the things that were right, that like your mother might have encouraged you to do, or your grandmother, like all the things. And it's just so rare these days because we have so many friends that are newly dating as their lives transition. They're taking new
dating path.
Well, they're, either they're getting divorced or they're like newly empty nesters. So they too are dating for the first time and they're making bonkers decisions. Like, absolutely. You're like, are you hearing the words that come out of your mouth? And I just want to apologize to you again that I like made you suffer through all of those things. And my feed told me today, if you're sitting by your phone and your emotions are dictated by the fact that whether or not they're texting you, that is not a healthy relationship. And I didn't know that. I'm this many years old. And I'm like, ooh. So my 30-day challenge, I am like 10 days in. Would we say it's 10 days in? It's probably October 1st.
Yeah.
That where I am crushing it. And now I know that I have someone else to compete against and I am going to be the better of the two.
In this dating competition that
sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah.
Because
like,
plus,
I'm going to be the best one.
It's so I think because now I'm a little bit on a pedestal. I do feel like cherished and stuff that it was easier to wipe the roster clean because they treat me like a slam piece.
Right. And you don't want that. You're better than that.
Now I'll probably,
now, if you want a slam piece, That's a different story.
I thought I wanted a slam piece.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, friends with benefits.
Yeah.
Slam piece.
But you know what?
booty call.
Inevitably, it stops being that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, well, that's not what I want for the rest of my life. And you can get distracted knowing that, like, but what are they doing in the off times?
Right. And like, if you're thinking about that, then that's not right. Then that's more than a slam piece.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to get what I want if I allow people to treat me like trash.
That's right. We are not trash. The end.
I don't know.
Okay, make sure you share this episode with your besties and like, subscribe, follow wherever you get your podcast at The Honestly Show, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and give us 5 stars about how amazing we are. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.